Coach Yora, Gotham Elite has not lost against a pro club since Westerlo 2024. How proud of you of this record?
Really proud. That's the aim of the academy since we started the academy. And what we wanted to sort of put in perspective is give the players an opportunity of playing against these pro clubs and competing against them. So if they are going to be playing against them, they have to do well, they have to perform, they have to show these scouts, the agents, the clubs that they can definitely come up against them. So yeah, we've played against MVV, we played against Courtrai, we played against Westerlo again, and we didn't lose. We won 2 of them and drew 1. So it's really, really good, and yeah, I'm really proud of the boys.
Many people ask this question: how can an academy compete with professional clubs? What is your secret?
It's about putting a good structure in, being professional, definitely. I think what helps also is that I played for a pro club when I was younger, so I got to see exactly what the standards are like and what kind of structure we can put in place. And also I've got a very good staff behind me, which helps massively. And we have to mimic pro clubs. So you don't come with these ideas out of thin air. You got to be in those environments, and then you implement them in training. You implement them with standards, shaking hands, creating a family vibe. And in terms of dress sense as well, players have to dress accordingly and look accordingly, look professional. So scouts, agents, coaches, clubs, even on social media when we're posting things and we're putting things on your Instagrams, your YouTubes, it's got to look professional, and then people can be like, okay, right, these guys are good enough to compete with us, at least, you know. So that, for me, that's absolutely massive. So that's one of the things I can say it's a non-negotiable. It's about looking professional. So it's not just about playing good on the pitch. Being a professional is also acting like a pro, even though you're not a pro yet, if that makes sense.
So you're preparing them for the professional world?
100%. That's the whole aim of the academy, and this is why we are Gotham Elite, you know, the Real Madrid of Belgium.
Oh, okay. So as we mentioned earlier, your academy helps players to go from amateur football to professional football. Why is this step so difficult for so many players?
It's such a privileged thing, you know. I think when players have this idea of, I want to become a professional footballer, you know, they've got to, I mentioned it before, it's a mindset that has to change. And it's not just, right, now I've signed a professional contract, so now I'm a professional footballer. It's what do you do before you get onto the pitch? It's how much training do you do? How much sleep are you getting? What's your food like? How much football are you watching? And then when you are training, when you get opportunities of playing against Westerlo, Courtrai, whoever it is, any academy team that you're playing against, what are your performances like? Are you training at a high level? Are you playing at a high level? Are you always complaining? Are you the type of player that when things don't go well, do you put your head down, or do you roll your sleeves up and you keep going? So this is why it's hard, because you have to be consistently good all the time. And at the academy, we've got, I think, around 40, 50 players, but not all of them get to play. A lot of them, they come to training, they get involved in training, but then when it comes to the games, they don't play. Why is that? It's because as a coach, you've got to take responsibility in picking the players that you can rely on. So as a coach, what players have got to put in their minds that, okay, am I a liability or am I an asset? And as a coach, you have to look at the players and think, right, okay, can I trust this player? Is this player good enough for me? Is this player going to run for me? Is he going to communicate? Is he going to, when it gets tough, is he going to roll his sleeves up and is he going to play well? Is he, you know, these things count. And as a coach, as a football person, when you are scouting players, you look at, in England, we call them the 4 corner models: technically, socially, physically, and psychologically. And all of those things, they gotta count towards you becoming a professional. So that's why it's hard. It's ultimately hard because it's a mental game. It's really, really difficult. But once you get there, the privileges are astronomical. So yeah.
So being a great player, it starts off the pitch.
It starts off the pitch. It's your attitude. It's your mentality. You know, you gotta be a footballer in your mind before getting onto the pitch. So yeah.
In your opinion, what is the biggest thing that these players are missing today?
It's the mindset, definitely. The mindset. I see it not just with my players, but But I see it in a lot of players in this sort of, at this level of before you get to a pro club or before you get to an elite level, they have this mindset of things not going my way, so I can blame other people, or they're very nonchalant. That's one of the biggest things, especially here in Belgium. I've been seeing it a lot, and once they fix that sort of mentality, that mindset, it can definitely help them, because some of these players are really, really good. Like I'm talking, we're talking like high-level elite players, but what lets them down, it's not the talent, it's definitely the mindset. So once they can fix the mindset, a lot of these players can really go far. And yeah, that's my honest opinion about Belgium and the academy, Godson itself.
So you're here at Godson Elite. What standards do you expect from your players every day?
High standards, simple. High standards. They got to push each other. We as a coaching staff, we set the standards up here in terms of their attitude, their mentality, the way they play, the way they press. And when you're on the sideline as a coach, you're expecting the players on the pitch to sort of take lead. That's what we want. And I think the players that we have now, they are doing it. I'm seeing it in training more and more, especially these last few months, or I can say since the start of this year. And especially since the defeat against Saint-Denis, that's where I saw the turnaround. I can see the fire in their eyes. So yeah, that's the standards, and that's the mentality that I really want to continue seeing, to be honest.
Okay, so do you think that some of your players at the academy today are already at the right level to play professional football?
100%. There's a few. I don't... Shall I mention some names?
You should.
I should. Well, we've got, obviously, Nana and Jeremy, they're doing really well. Really, really well. And we've got players in like Ethan, we've got players in like Raphael and Mats. I think they really showing something, They have the correct mindset, the correct attitude. Now it's just down to them. I'm not trying to disregard any other player, definitely not. I think I got a really, really good squad of players. I got a really good group. But the ones that definitely come to mind are those guys. And it's honestly down to them. I can stand here and tell you, yeah, they're all going to make it. But at the end of the day, it's not me that's going to sign the contracts for them. And it's not me that's going to be waking up every day and deciding, right, okay, after school I'm going to go to the gym, or after work I'm going to go to the gym. And when the Champions League is on, or when the Premier League is on, I'm going to watch it. And I'm watching players in my position. I'm looking at what they're doing. And I'm asking my coach, right, what can I improve on? It's not me who's going to do that. It's going to be them. And when they are playing the games, how serious are they taking it as a striker? For people like Matt, for Jeremy, for Nana, and people like Due, how many goals are you scoring? Are you creating chances, or are you being soft about it for the midfielders? Are you getting assists? Are you doing the ugly work of the ugly side of the game with the defending, the tracking back, the communication for defenders? Are you hard in tackles? Are you organising? So it's literally down to them. They have the potential. Hence why they are in the academy. Hence why they are always playing in these games. We're always seeing the same players in every YouTube video, on the YouTube reels, the YouTube shorts, the Instagram reels, the TikTok videos. We're seeing the same guys always turning up. So it's down to them if they're gonna make it. Not down to me. We're just putting a platform for these guys, and we're guiding them. And that's my honest review, my honest opinion.
You are known as a very honest coach who speaks his mind, maybe a little too honest sometimes. How do your players take that? Do they take it personal?
I hope not. It's the thing is, you got to get the balance right in terms of criticism, feedback. Football is an emotional game. So you do have to, and you got to manage the players differently as well. You can't treat every player the same. Some players you got to scream and shout at them. Some players you have to put an arm around them. Some players you have to scream at someone else to get their reaction. So it's just about finding the correct balance and understanding your players and, understanding the situation that they're in as well, because everyone has, apart from them being footballers or aspiring footballers, they're human beings at the end of the day. You never know what's going on in their personal lives. But that's where we come in, and I think in football I think it's so easy to say that you got an opportunity, you got to take it, but sometimes in football there aren't second chances. So when we put in these opportunities for them, we are literally mimicking what pros do. So you've got to be as ruthless as the pros, and you've got to be slightly lenient because it's a development stage for them. So, yeah.
Confidence or arrogance? Some people say that you are very confident, maybe even a little bit arrogant, but how important is that confidence to succeed in football?
I think if we look at all sportsmen or all successful people in the world that have made it all the way to the top, they had to have some sort of arrogance and confidence about them. Whether it's delusional or it's intentional, I think it definitely helps, because you are putting nothing but positivity in your mind. Now, it becomes delusional to a degree if you're overconfident but you're not putting the work in, But if you're backing it with the work and the results, then it kind of makes you look a little bit of a genius, and you sound like a genius. But I don't think I'm arrogant. I think I'm confident, and that confidence shines throughout the entire academy and into my players as well, and everyone around me. And that's the kind of mentality I want to instill in the players as well, because at the end of the day, these guys are young men. We're all young men. So if you bring this, well, apart from
Youngish.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, but for real, these guys they're young, and if you give them this sort of mindset, this mentality of being confident and putting the work in, it's going to help them across all facets of life. And hence why I do these things, and I don't do it, because I want to be a character or something. This is who I am, this is my personality, and yeah, for me, I feel like this is the best way that I've got to be, and yeah.
So you heard it, guys, it's confidence, not arrogance. If a young player wants to become professional, why should he choose Gatsan Elite Football Academy?
It's a good question, Sal. It's a good question. And I'm going to be entirely honest, just as I have been this entire interview. What we provide at Godson, first of all, is elite standard training. Elite standard training. We have people that are experienced as coaching staff, as staff in general. And when you come to Godson, you're going to get 100% the truth. You're going to get competitiveness. You're going to get the opportunities of proving yourself in training first, and to become professional, that's what you have to do. You have to prove to people that you're good enough. A lot of people will do trials, come here, come there, pay this, pay that, and just play. Whereas at Godson, it's slightly different because it's about competence. You've got to be a good player. And if you're a good player, you've got to have a good attitude. We look at so many different models before selecting a player. And because I've got such a good coaching staff, we sit down, we review everything to the detail, everything. And that enables, I think, honestly speaking, this is why I think we're doing really well in Belgium. And that's why we get a lot of sort of messages from players as well that they want to come to the academy and this, that. But yeah, if you want to make it as a pro footballer or you want to give yourself a good shot, definitely. If you're not a Godson, then yeah, good luck.
Okay, so Yora, what has been your best and your worst experience at Godson till now?
So what should I start with?
The best.
The best, okay. So the best experience, okay, I'll go with two. First of all is actually starting the academy. That was the best. One of the best decisions, definitely. And the second best in terms of a game, we've had some good games. But I think the most recent one, beating Courtrai. Yeah, we beat them. We not just beat them, we outclassed them. And it was such an amazing feeling because we didn't concede. It was a clean sheet, 2-0. Very professional performance. Yeah, we just outclassed them. And the players were over the moon. They were over the moon. They were really happy. And that's where I felt, okay, these boys are ready. They're ready to kick on. They're ready to step up and on to the next. So, yeah. And, okay, right, the worst. The worst is probably the defeat against Danes. That was before your time.
And why was that the worst?
We lost 3-0.
Yeah, that is bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. First time playing at the stadium. And yeah, we got embarrassed. We got absolutely embarrassed. So yeah, that was the worst. I know we also lost 5-2 to Westerlo, which was our last defeat against a pro club. But yeah, I can say that was my fault. Yeah, I got everything wrong, to be honest. But I learned from that. Hence why we haven't lost against pro club yet. Well, since then. But yeah, the worst experience was definitely against Danes. The worst. So yeah.
So before we end it here, I have to ask you one more question. Are Arsenal gonna win the Premier League?
What do you guys think? Of course Arsenal's going to win the Premier League. Yeah, they will, definitely. It's a different season for them this year. So, yeah, I believe in Arteta, who's also my, how can I say this? I don't want to say my idol, but I do look up to him as a coach. And yeah, because I'm an Arsenal fan anyway, so it genuinely helps. It's so easy to watch Arsenal doing really well. When we were doing really bad, it wasn't great. But now it makes it much easier, so yeah. I do watch Arteta and I hope Arsenal win the Prem. Not hope, but they will. So yeah, we can definitely end it there.